Hey guys, I'm Jordan Fromer. I believe in hunting hard, hunting smart, and having a fun time while doing it. And shooting limits, well, that's just the icing on the cake. I revel in the journey just as much as the successes it brings. From ducks to dogs to decoys and guns, we'll be talking tactics, strategies, and what it takes to get the job done. Load up and take aim. This is the Duck Gun Podcast.
What's going on, folks? Thanks for joining me on another episode of the Duck Gun Podcast. I'm Jordan from Duck Gun Chronicles, and we are on the road, podcast from the road, and I got my buddies with me today. We got Devin and Jon. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Awesome. Yeah, we're just on the beginning of our trip out here to Iowa. We made the drive late last night, and we got a lot of stories to tell. So, in a short amount of time, a lot has already happened. So, it's going to be awesome. But first off, let's give a thanks to our partners. So, this trip is actually being presented by OnX. You see that in all the YouTube videos. That's another thing. We're filming all the hunts, and today, a little bit of a sneak peek. We had a banger. So,
chaotic banger.
Chaotic
banger. Started slow, ended fast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, guys, if you haven't checked out OnX, OnX is an awesome app for waterfowl hunters. You can use it for checking public land, private land, show the boundaries, pins, tracking where you're going with the bow, all kinds of useful things as a duck hunter. And honestly, I cannot imagine hunting without it anymore. So check them out, guys, OnX. Also like to give a big thanks to FA and Rogers, as they have all the gear you need as a waterfowl hunter. Today I was running the waterfowl backpack and tons of options to put all my gear in there, and they got just everything you need, from decoys to A-frames to camo. So check them out over there at rogerssportinggoods.com. Also like to give big thanks to Tetra. Jon, you use Tetra.
Yeah, I just got it on your recommendation a few months ago. Love it.
Awesome. Yep, Tetras are great. They prevent your hearing loss. And the science behind it is the cool part, because you can wear them, you can hear your buddies talking, you can hear the birds' wings whistling, everything that you normally would experience as a duck hunt, you'll hear that. But then when the guns go bang, cancels out that sound, and you keep on hunting. So check them out, guys. Tetra Hearing. Also like to give a big thanks to Motion Ducks. Guys, Motion Ducks is the product for you to get that motion in your spread. It is a jerk rig on steroids. Guys, I'm having trouble speaking today, but it is a jerk rig on steroids. So check them out, guys. It is an awesome product. Also, guys, it's a new season on Hunt Stats that just started right now. That's the app that me and Elliot have been working on for a while. So if you haven't checked that out, then you definitely need to. Alrighty, let's go ahead and talk about the hunt.
Which story are you going to start with?
That's true. I shouldn't say the hunt. So,
you going to do chronologically? Or are you going to do an order of importance?
Yeah. No, chronologically, I think. So, it all started last night when we got on the road. So, Devin, you want to kind of head this off, talk about how the trip started?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that I got stuck with the 3-hour drive part instead of the hour and a half. But
going through Chicago.
Yeah.
We split it in half. We split the 4-hour drive, me doing 1 hour, you doing 3 hours.
There's Jon. He'll lie a lot on this podcast.
Divided by 2.
Hey, Jon, can you put your mic a little closer?
Yep.
No, nobody wants to hear Jon. No, yeah, and then we got into town with like 20 minutes to try to get licenses because we couldn't get them on the internet. Went to Walmart, and of course, the only few workers they do have don't know how to run the computer, so we shot to the gas station and got our licenses and got a couple hours of sleep, and then...
Oh, yeah.
You're a horrible storyteller. Okay, I'll take it from here. Okay, it was a dark and stormy night, right? We made the whole drive, stopped at Bass Pro. We went to the Walmart to get licenses last minute because we couldn't get it to work online. The lady couldn't do it, so we sprinted out of Walmart.
So, Jon, I know we have an hour to kill, but they don't want to listen to you mumble.
I'm just going to repeat your guys' stories and tell them better from here on out, I think.
Yeah.
This is what I have to deal with. These guys fight like cats and dogs all the time. But Yeah, no, there was some interesting things in there for sure. I mean, with the licenses, we talked to the DNR today, actually. We'll get to that later on in the story, but and they were surprised that we couldn't buy out-of-state licenses on the app, but for whatever reason we couldn't, so that kind of put us in a pinch. We didn't realize that we couldn't buy them on the road, and literally, like just by stroke of luck, we were going to arrive before 11, which that's when Walmart closed. So we got in there, and we felt like pretty confident we're going to be able to get it because it's like 10:24. They close at 11. We get back there, we find somebody. I mean, we were like power walking back to the checkout counter, and then sure enough, our biggest fear, nobody there knows how to get a license. It's the day before opener, and we're like in a waterfowl town. That's what it feels like. So it's kind of surprising, but at the same time, it's not. So said nobody there had a login to actually be able to get us to buy a license. We're like, hey, can you let us get on the computers? We can figure it out. Whatever. We drove 4 hours and we went to hunt in the morning. And if we didn't have our licenses, like we just would have been plumb out of luck. Which would have.
And after seeing pictures, we'd have been real mad because holy smokes.
Yeah, it would have been. It'd have been rough. So John honestly kind of saved us on this one. Over there, looking at his phone. And pulled up the gas station, Phillips 66. Never in my life did I know that Phillips 66 would sell a license. And so we ran in there and tried to get our licenses, and it was still chaotic. They didn't accept card. We didn't have enough cash. I couldn't remember my PIN number for the credit card machine. So you guys both were able to pull $200 out. I had cash in my wallet. Combined, we took cash and cash taken out, and we're able to buy 3 licenses. Devin was going to get the year-long. He had to take his down to a 5-day, and we had like $3 to spare.
I was the idiot for showing up to a 5-day Iowa hunt with exactly 2 $1 bills in my wallet, thinking surely everybody's going to take a credit card here.
Yeah, and I just had 2 days now. 2 days ago, where I needed to use cash, never need to use cash, and I had $100 in my wallet ready to go, which would have been helpful. It still wouldn't have been enough for out-of-state fees. But, yeah, so it was like, honestly, a bunch of things like barely fell into place. We had just enough money. We had just enough time. Loco struck a stroke of luck on that one. So, after that, it was a big weight off the shoulders, sigh of relief. We got to the Airbnb and went to sleep with just a few hours of sleep.
If you want to call it sleep.
Yep, not much.
We were relieved, though. At least we got to hunt in the morning after that. It was a pain in the butt getting to that point, but at least it worked because we would have been way, way, way in worse mood if we had to see those pictures this morning of what those guys did.
Oh, no, you're pretty upset about your little Tesla out there getting keyed.
Oh, I was upset about that.
Or is that a Prius? What is that out there?
I just bought this. It's not new, but it's new to me, and I'm really proud of it. And it looks nice. It's this red F-150. And whether it was at Walmart or at this gas station or maybe outside overnight or something, I don't know. We woke up this morning at 4 a.m., and I went out to the truck, and somebody just keyed the snot out of it. Like, deep keyed. Got through all the layers, bare metal. Like,
I can't tell you the last time.
So I didn't want to have to tell you this, and I was going to take this to my grave, but I feel like this is a good place to tell you that last night at Walmart, I wanted to push a cart down the hill and see how far it'd go. Well, the thing kind of drifted to the right. The wheel must have been a little locked up, and it went right down the side of your truck.
Yeah.
So,
no,
allegedly.
I could see the anger behind those key marks. I know it was a key.
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I've actually heard or seen someone's car get keyed.
Me either.
That used to be a thing, I feel like, in like the 90s or early 2000s.
Yep.
But like, who keys cars anymore?
I don't know. That's what I get for offering to drive. Should have let you take your white truck. You wouldn't even be able to see it.
Yeah, or the duck bus.
Yep.
We probably would have ended up with slashed tires in that thing, though. You never know. But yeah, so we got to the marsh, and we actually met up with some guys that reached out to me, and they hunt this area locally. It was Tim, Hunter, and Billy, right?
Yeah.
Or Bobby. No, it was Bobby.
Yeah,
Bobby.
because I was calling him Bobby Boucher a little bit there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we met up with those guys. Great group of guys to hunt with, and we got out there. So When you guys want to start talking about
I'm still upset over the hunt, honestly, because just to get it started off, you asked, and I quote, "Hey, Tim, how many ducks do you think we're going to kill today?" Tim said, and I quote, "I don't know, maybe 16." Tim was way off.
Yeah.
Way off.
Yeah. I wouldn't be upset with the direction he was off, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Tim was off more than double.
But
low.
to start the morning, though, I thought he was going to be in the ballpark because
Sure, yeah.
the birds just, they had where they were going, and of course, per usual, we're about 50 yards off, but we made the right move, and boy, it panned out in a big way for us.
Yeah, I think that's something that I don't do a whole lot. Is if I'm in the wrong spot, it takes so much work to move your entire setup that you spent an hour that morning preparing and moving it to where you're pretty sure you need to be and taking the chance. But we
today
did, and it paid off.
Proof of you know. I know nobody wants to do it after you do a big setup, but man, if it can get you that many more birds,
I'm relatively confident we would not have limited this morning. If
No, not even close. Yeah. I mean, we would have shot half the birds. We would have probably been.
If that. Yeah. Like in all of our shots, too, were like, if we got them to skate the outside of the decoys, like we were like,
yeah,
oh
that's
my gosh,
true.
you're
They
so
would have
close.
been
like
40-yard shots.
They had their minds made up. They're going to them grass mats in the back, and if we wouldn't have moved over, there's no way we would have.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of moving, actually, and I would have suggested to move earlier, but we kind of talked about this earlier. When you're kind of meeting up with people and you want to do your best not to step on any toes.
Yeah.
We don't know them very well yet, and we're getting to know them. And I mean, I think maybe I would suggest it, more now. But like, also they probably have a better idea than we do. You know what I mean? Like being the locals that hunt it and all that. It's real easy to be like a backseat kind of driver when it's not your hunt and you don't control it. But being
a backseat driver in with two Excel boats and one Havoc boat, we could have been a backseat driver in some crappier boats.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I guess we should stop beating around the bush on it. I mean, we got out there and I mean it's a 6-man limit, so 6-man limit early teal. Which is awesome.
Yep. But how many do you think we had in the first hour? So shooting light happened. What time was it? 6:26?
Man, it was. I feel like in the first 45 minutes that maybe we shot like 7.
It was like nothing. Yeah. I think that's on the high side too. Like I think we did not see that many birds in the first 45 minutes to an hour, and then it really started to pick up. Yeah,
and that's the thing with the move too. Kind of touching on that again. I mean. A lot of times, especially with early teal, it is a risk to move because the flight could just be over at any minute. I mean, it's like if you move at 8:30, it just might be done. You get over there by 9 o'clock, set up, and they might be done. So it's like we took a risk in doing it, but everybody kind of agreed that let's try to move, and it worked out.
Absolutely.
And one thing to touch on that wasn't really a highlight of it is the stuff that they hunt in this is just super, super thick.
Oh unbelievable.
Yeah. American lotus above your head, lily pads everywhere. The nice thing is we could walk on the bottom,
it was a pretty decent bottom to try to walk on.
Yeah. We were talking a lot. If you surveyed duck hunters in Indiana, what % of them do you think run outboards on their boat? 80 to 90? Probably. I mean, I know a bunch of guys with mud motors, but I think the average Joe that duck hunts Indiana still uses an outboard.
Yeah,
if you think about it, like we don't have these giant mud flats like this, so there's really.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm a firm believer in any kind of air cooled motor because when you get into late season hunting, dude, water lines freezing can be the biggest pain in the butt. I can't tell you how many times we've stayed at boat launches like with lighters trying to thaw out water lines to get going. And running the river, like, I mean, if you don't know where you're going, but it's not very shallow. Like, the channel's pretty big in our local waters, like, but like out here, like, there's no way you're running outboard through that.
I mean,
no, not even a chance.
No,
I mean, you'd have to walk the boat the whole way. What do you think? How far do you think it was from where we started? I mean,
100 yards maybe from
you think we got stuck in that Excel? Oh, imagine if we had an outboard.
We wouldn't even got anywhere because you have to have the prop so far down the water. You got to have water running through there. Yeah,
and there's another thing with the water issue. Like that water sucks in from the lower end of a motor, and that's going to get clogged up with weeds. And then right there you go, your motor's not paying again, and you're overheating.
So it was awesome. So I know less about duck boats than you guys probably do. So can you describe for them what these duck boats were? So they're basically just, Excels and Havocs with.
Yeah, honestly, those are some of the nicest duck boats you can have.
And gator tails. Gator tails are like a pretty good one too. But.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like a John boat, but like on steroids, right?
Oh, they got thicker aluminum on them.
Real thick gauge aluminum compared to my John.
They're
boat.
welded.
Yep, the transoms are built way better on them.
Yeah,
like they're definitely made to be beat on. Like
So the pods in the back was probably my favorite part for getting in and out of the boat, for where to put your dog, the dog getting in and out of the boat, and the overall flotation of it. I thought was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a useful tool compared to what we have. And you kind of made the mention, like when we got out, you're like, my boat's nice compared to Indiana standards or our local standards.
Yeah, right.
Not nice. I would say above average.
Above average. Very well put. Yeah.
Just with I have a Lund with a 23 horse Go Devil longtail, so it's like that'll get the job done just about anywhere.
I ran that for years on the river over by us.
Yep.
Yeah. But what these guys had is just like top of the line, pristine.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
But it saved us a lot of birds too. It like being able to drive through that, because that stuff, like if you don't mark your bird and get in there and get it, like
yeah.
And the weird thing too was like all the dead ones made it kind of.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? That was insane.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, what did he say it was? He said it was. He said avian.
Yeah, it was something to do with it wasn't the avian bird flu, but it was something to do with the water being low.
Yeah,
that some kind of bacteria builds on the bottom or something.
I don't know.
Oh, that's what the CEO said when we were talking.
I'll look that up and try to.
It was ridiculous. Like you would if you would down a bird and the dog would be lost in the lily pads or whatever, and you'd be, trying to help whenever, you could find 4, 5, 6 dead.
Just like the dog would bring back a bird that wasn't yours. And this is the opening day of teal. So what do you think there? I mean, around us, what do you think the three of us total altogether combined?
Yeah, even with the other group, I don't know.
Not ours.
And probably about. I don't know if it was that many. I would say probably closer to like 15 to 20, but yeah.
I don't know. I personally saw over 10, and most of them looked like they were weeks old. Yeah. That was weird.
So you were actually with Chief retrieving your down bird, and then I downed that one in front, and I just went out to go get it, and I found 5 over there trying to find that one.
I mean, there were so many that you'd walk up on a bird, like you'd go to where you saw one drop, you'd walk up on the bird, and you'd question, is this even my bird? Like, I've seen so many dead birds that aren't mine. Is this even the one that I dropped? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That is something I've never seen before.
Yeah, even the CEO, like they said, like, they've heard about it, but even when we first told him, he kind of gave us that look like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I was like, we better pay good attention when we're breasting these bad boys out.
And if it wasn't opening day, I mean, that would have kind of explained it. Maybe it's birds that guys hit and didn't know they hit them and let them go or couldn't find them or whatever. But, man, there were so many, and it's opening day, so it had to have been something natural.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely interesting. Definitely not what you want to see out there. And like you said, we're almost a little sketched out to eat them. I mean, disclaimer, we'll breast them out. We're going to eat all our birds.
We're a little bit nervous, but we're not that nervous.
Yeah, it's like we're going to make sure we cook them to temp and make sure when we breast them out, everything's good to go. But definitely a unique situation.
Yeah, but the dog work was super helpful too. I mean, how many of those birds do you think we wouldn't have found with no dogs?
A lot.
Yeah. There's a bunch.
Yeah, like I said, with that tall vegetation, it was just something that we've never experienced. And I don't know if I said it. We're on the Mississippi, so that in itself is super cool. Super
spots now.
Well, the Mississippi goes literally from Minnesota all the way down to Louisiana.
You got to show John on a map. He's not very very intelligent when it comes to
the Mississippi River is like similar size to our river back home, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean
it's like Boggo Creek.
Yeah, right.
It's like the river's like so wide that it almost feels like you're hunting a marsh or something like that. Yeah. It doesn't seem like a river. It's just it's insane. So, but yeah, like with that vegetation, super hard. to get through and to see, and for the dog to get in. I mean, there's a couple times we lost Chief in it. You know?
Oh yeah. He was whooped, boy. That dog was whooped.
He put in some work today, though.
Yeah, we had.
I feel bad for him. First hunt of the year. It's
I know,
like,
it's
here you
this,
go, bud.
Of all things, why couldn't it be like a sand bottom lake or something for his first one? Why'd it have to be this?
Yeah, it'll get him in shape though. I mean, he'll be ready to go. So, and I think I started talking about this a little bit ago, but kind of a low light of it, we did end up losing some birds. So, something we never want to happen as hunters, and we did our best and due diligence looking for them. But man, that stuff was just thick. So that's kind of it kind of put me in a bad mindset at the beginning of the hunt.
Oh, I was.
Well, it was
there was times where like I wouldn't even shoot if they'd be over there, just for the simple fact that it was like
flocks that we passed on.
There's no point. Like, yeah.
But we're able to when we made the move. So we started off hunting over the decoys, and then we made a move to the other side of the decoys, and we had way closer shots. It's just where the birds wanted to be. And from that, we went from losing some birds to, excuse me, doing pretty good. So
I'd say we did really well, actually, considering like.
Yeah, all things considered, I was impressed with how well we did, but it was frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that when we did that move though, where we ended up though, it had that nice. It was grass in front of us, but it was a lot more open, and like Jordan had mentioned, the shots were even, not that we're taking like unrealistic shots to begin with, but like, I mean, there were.
No, but if it's like a 30-yard shot or 35-yard shot, like kind of at the end of our reasonable range, and it falls into lotus that is above your head and that's hundreds of yards, it's like the dog can see it, but they can't really mark it that well. You send them over there, and if you have a cripple, you don't even know to follow up on it. So you send the dog on a crippled duck. And so, we had to kind of adjust because that's not something we're used to. And, like I said, by the end, everything was running good. And you kind of mentioned, Devin, that there was some of those things just made it super chaotic because we'd shoot a bird, we'd be chasing it down the boat with the dog, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, speaking of chaotic, that ship or whatever that boat was, that big ferry.
It's like a river boat.
George's like, "Oh, get my camera out, take a picture." And mind you, I think we needed one more bird each to finish our limit.
Yeah, I think.
And like I'm over here messing with this stupid camera. I'm about as literate with technology as it comes, and all of a sudden, just this massive flock of teal just right over our heads, like almost pinged us in the head. And
it was like what you see in all the videos and stuff.
I'm glad Jordan was far away because I bet you his ears are still burning. I was fired up.
Yep. It was awesome. I mean, it was that classic, like 20 teal come straight at you. We stand up and yell, take them, and they just somehow rise vertically like 30 feet. When they flare.
And then I'm here holding the camera instead of a shotgun, like, oh, this sucks.
And then the worst part of all
I got
that
my bird.
Was that you didn't even push the record button.
Yeah, I know.
So you guys won't see that's like a super unique riverboat. Like, I had I had no idea that they're going to be in the river. Like, we're out there teal hunting, and here comes this riverboat that looks like it's from like the early 1900s.
From the Mississippi. Like, I'll take 60% of that fault that it didn't record. I'm blaming the other 40 on the teal.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
0% because I had my gun and I got my last bird.
Nice, and I was retrieving my last bird too.
Yeah.
So,
and then I was just positive reinforcement for you guys the rest of the time, screaming at.
Listen, that John over here sounding like he's a good shot. Hey, how many boxes did you go through? About 2 boxes to get your 6.
No, I will say that
I think it was like a box, and then I had to steal a couple from your box.
I was going to say, I seen your hand over in my box.
I bet I shot 35 shots to get my 6 today.
Yeah,
not proud of it, but.
Hey,
6 is the number that matters, not 35.
So ain't none of us professional shooters by any means, but you forget how fast teal is. Like, I mean, I guess that's why they're called blue rockets. Like, there wasn't even any kind of tail. Like, it was straight flat calm. And I mean, if you didn't have a beat on them things coming across some lily pads and they got up on you, they were gone before you could even think about clicking your safety.
It was nuts. When I've never hunted, I mean, I think, Jordan, you've hunted teal. Like, you've gone out pursuing teal a couple of times before. I've shot teal during early goose and stuff, but I've never gone out and pursued teal before. So this is the first time I've really seen a big flock of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a super cool experience. opposed to like anything else we do, like goose. We go out and we try to hunt geese, and we hunt puddle ducks, mallards, wood ducks, all that kind of stuff. But if you've never teal hunted, it's just like a totally different game. So
it is.
And like you said, like we had at the end, it was really cool because we had big groups swooping in, 20 to 30 teal, and they'd be coming low right at your face and coming in fast. And so it's like you come up for that shot, and I mean they would just get out of dodge quick. So
yeah,
it was. I think that maybe we all kind of started off shooting a little rusty first hunt of the season, but by the end,
Devin was stacking them early, but it took
not
it
like
took
I
Jordan
should.
a
I
minute.
started going through some shot cam footage, and it definitely, it definitely wasn't pretty.
it'll humble you.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end though we were definitely starting to knock them down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'd have one come in, and I'd pull up, take one shot, and just crumple it.
folded dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, John, you want to talk about your two buddies that came to visit us?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. Did you catch either of their names? I don't think we caught either of them. We shook their hand, and they were good guys, but
Yeah, I can't remember now.
we'd give them a shout out if we knew their names. Sorry, Mr. and Mr. DNR, we don't know your names, but two conservation officers came over and checked the other boat first. So Devin and Jordan and I were hunting out of one boat. At the time, after we shifted, we split the boats up a little bit further apart than they were to start. And so DNR, or the conservation officers, came over and checked the other boat first, and then came over and stopped by us and checked us, and they just wanted to see, just the routine stuff. So wanted to see, let's see the ducks that you had, obviously, to make sure you're obeying the limit. You're not shooting any birds you're not supposed to. We saw there's a bunch of times that we were taking bets before shooting light on, is that a wood duck or a mallard or a teal? So it's definitely tough to tell until the sun comes up. But they just wanted to make sure we were following the rules and had our life jackets and fire extinguisher. And
So here's a question for
plugging
you
the gun
guys.
and all that stuff.
So, question for you. I mean, is this just a natural thing? Even if you're doing nothing wrong, and it's like when you get pulled over.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
you're-
I was shaking like a leaf. I
It's
don't
like-
even know why.
Yeah, it's like you get like this little feeling in your stomach, and you're like, I'm not doing anything wrong, but
So it's funny because like you start running through a checklist in your head like really fast, and then like the little thing will make you paranoid. So like when I go pigeon hunting, like I still use a plug. Like I never take my plug out of my
Yeah.
gun.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, like I was like, did I take my plug out for it? And I was like, no way I didn't. And I obviously I didn't, but it's just little stuff like that. Like they I don't know what it is. They just put like the fear of God in you or
Yep.
something. Like you're like, I know you're gonna find something like the intent of doing something wrong here.
I thought they were going to come over pissed because when I didn't quite know they were there, and I swung on a bird and shot. I don't think I hit this one that I shot at.
no.
But swung on,
Go
You're like,
figure.
no. I don't think I hit the one that I shot at, but I looked down and it was like I didn't range shot on them or anything, but it was in their general direction for sure.
Yeah.
So
They're definitely the kind of COs that you want in
They're
the
good
marshes,
guys.
and like
for sure.
they're definitely just like for the conservation, like for the hunter. Like
Yep.
It seemed like
we
one.
ended up talking to them guys forever for like no reason, just shooting.
Yep.
Like it did cost us some birds though, but
When they first came up, so it was kind of cool because we did, like we said, we had a little bit of struggles on shooting to start with, but this was later in the hunt. I would say we're 3/4 of the way to our limit.
Yeah.
But right as they came up, we had a flock of 3 come in, and we dropped all 3.
Yeah, we did.
So that was
awesome.
That was kind of cool. And then they came and checked us, and literally, like as they're leaving, and we drop a couple more. So it was like,
Yep. Oh, that was sweet. Yeah, I wish I could remember what he said about that.
What
bird
the name of
disease
it?
or whatever it was. It was he used the word avian for sure, and he said it had to do with the low water levels, but I can't remember more than that.
yeah.
That'd be
I thought he was going to
fascinating,
say avian bird flu, but
Yeah.
because they'd been talking about that earlier this spring with snow geese and turkey and all that. And that's kind of what I was thinking when we seen the dead ones, but he had a different name for it. So, but
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my biggest regret every time I see the DNR isn't that I always get the feeling like, oh, it's the DNR, like let's make sure everything's in order, and then it is. But I think my biggest regret is after the DNRs left, I think of all the jokes that I missed out on Like, oh yeah, we just headed out here, just had a pretty good night spotlighting a couple deer, got 10 or 11 of them, and then I just went ahead and loaded 7 shells in my gun. We shot a couple mallards here.
Well, you did give him the good mallard joke.
I did give him a good mallard joke. I said, "Oh, you guys saw our teal. Do you guys want to see our mallards?" And they said, "Yeah."
I'm always a little nervous because I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Like you never know if you get 1D and officers that's
yeah,
all business,
tight.
serious.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, I feel like at that point though, we had it warmed up to him. Like we knew what kind of guys they were. Like,
But every time they walk away, usually I just think of all the jokes that I missed out on saying in front of them. You know?
Yeah.
My thing is, I always have like questions that I want to ask. Like next time I run into a conservation officer, I'm going to ask them this question, and then like I get the deer in the headlights when they're there, and then when they're gone, I'm like, crap.
No pun intended.
Man, yeah.
Deer in the spotlight.
I'm like, man, I wanted to ask him about this or that, or yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I think we ended up having. I mean, everything was good. So we had the life jackets and the fire extinguisher, and
thanks to Tim.
I was going to say, which was a miracle.
Yeah,
because we weren't in our boat.
Yeah.
Oh, so
they asked us about life jackets, and the first thing we said was, first of all, disclaimer. This isn't our boat, so I'm sorry ahead of time for whatever's about to happen here.
Yeah, you can give the ticket to.
You're right, that guy over there.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's I will say though, we were planning to take my boat at one point, but when we got up here with Tim and them, they were already set up to go with their boats. So we left, and when you go on a trip, you're always going to forget something. And I realized when we were in Bass Pro that I forgot life jackets. I was like, oh shoot! And so I went in there and I bought 3 life jackets and a throwable life jacket. And sure enough, on the drive, I had stacked decoys on top of them so that they wouldn't blow away. But
foolproof. What could go wrong? One might say.
Oh man, I've never I never learned my lesson because last year I lost a bunch of decoys out of the boat, which was like a first. But like the thing was, the car was already packed. I'm like, I really don't want to put it in there and like take up any more space. Sure enough, 2 of the 4 blew out. So if we were in my boat, we would have got ticketed.
Yep.
But
on a side note, though, I do have to brag about myself on the grass mat that I put in the blind that John said wouldn't.
That was a miracle.
That made it
that
4.5 hours. I'm just saying.
God held that grass mat in there because gravity didn't, air resistance didn't.
Oh yeah, I knew what I was doing.
I don't know how.
I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't know what I was doing. I just figured the wind would probably roll over top of it. If it makes it, it makes it. If it don't, it don't. It did.
Yep. So, like I said a little bit earlier, we ended with a 6-man limit, and that's the first time that I've personally shot my limit in early till. I've shot 5 in the past, going out to Kansas, and I mean, I had my expectations for this were not to like surpass Kansas. I wouldn't have guessed. I knew there's always the possibility of that stock hunting, but I mean, it's just a phenomenal hunt.
Yeah, it is crazy, and they said like most of their teal actually still ain't even here yet. So like, it's like if that's not your guys' normal push, like.
Nuts. How long does the teal season go here? Do you know? So September 1st, is it 1st to 15th or?
I'm not sure.
Longer than that?
I'd have to look.
Either.
I know it's going on the whole time we're here.
I know. I looked at the. I was going to say I looked at the date.
I know we're good for 5 days.
And I remember
so.
thinking, okay, every day we're going to be here is in teal season, but I don't remember what the full season was.
I'm just hoping. I know we're kind of hard to leave teal when, we got so many of them. But I'm just hoping we get a couple nice goose hunts in while we're here too.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So we have options. We got options. What we can do, we can teal hunt, we can goose hunt, we can dove hunt, which we're about to do in a little bit. But let's talk about the game plan for tomorrow. So one thing we're kind of noticing while we're out there is the teal had a certain flight path they want to take, and even like they were more landing in this area compared to other places. Like where we had our decoys, we did have some decoy in there, but it was like, I'd say like, a single-digit percentage.
Oh yeah. They wanted them grass mats over in the middle of them lily pads.
Yeah.
Like, I think we set up in there tomorrow morning like we talked about, and it's going to be lights out, game over. Like,
yeah.
We'll
Devin
see.
has maximum.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys don't think we're going to.
Different levels of optimism sitting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope.
I don't understand how you guys don't think we're going to break 20. Literally, while we were taking a pile pick, we had like 3 or 4 groups of 20 to 30 just dive bomb.
It was
right
crazy.
where we picked to set. Like,
Yep.
you guys are nuts. Like, I'll take that $100 bet all day long.
I hope you're right. I really do.
I do too.
I hope you're right, but I can't remember.
You know what? You can take it to the bank.
I can't remember the last time I hunted anything and did as well as we did today and said, I'm going to come back within 100 yards of here tomorrow, and we killed them again the next day.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
where have you hunted with a place with this many birds? Like,
that was a low blow, man. I'm from Indiana. You can't talk
I
like
get
that.
like mentality around our house,
Right.
Like our
That's
Indiana
fair.
waters.
Maybe
But
the sheer numbers of it will kind of.
Oh.
There's a lot of birds that got educated today, but maybe the sheer numbers will kind of save us.
you want to talk about educated? Well, they were literally landing in the decoys when we were picking them up,
Yeah.
like right
That's
next
true.
to us.
That was nuts. There was 3 to 5 singles that were just. They wanted to come land in the boat with us.
It was like the
nuts.
later the day went, the better the birds were working, which is just weird.
And of course,
and it was
as
like
soon as you
sunny,
get your-
hot, no air movement. Like it was just.
Yeah, there's no wind and super sunny. It was horrible conditions for it, but worked out.
But there was a lot of people out there, so I think a lot of those guys coming off of the Mississippi was like helping us keep the birds moving.
One of the other things too that was interesting. This is going to sound like bragging. Not going to lie, it is a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? It's not on me. It's on Tim.
Spit it out, Junior.
It's on Tim because the DNR came over to us and they said, for whatever it's worth, we've checked a bunch of people today, and it doesn't seem like anybody's doing nearly as good as you guys are. I mean, it seems like every time we hear shots, it's coming from over here. We got back to the boat launch, and I talked to at least 2 guys that said they were skunked this morning on the same spot we were.
Yeah.
Well, same launch, obviously different spot, but it sounded like the scouting was kind of what saved the day today. So shout out to Tim for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sounds like they did their due diligence on that. And,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
That was awesome.
So predictions, you guys want to? I know, Devin, you think we're going to shoot 6-man again tomorrow?
I don't think we'll shoot quite a 6-man, but I'm guaranteeing you right now it's going to be north of 20.
You just got to pick a number.
26.
26. Okay, John.
18 for all 6 of us.
Yeah.
Like 18 total get shot between 2 boats of 6 total people.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of right there with John, to be honest, but I hope.
Pick a different number.
Pick a different number.
There's right and there's wrong.
I
no
would go a
tie.
different
Well,
number.
you know what my last name is, so I should give you a hint on which way you should go on the scale.
I'll go 19 then.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
19.
He just prices righted me.
you said pick a different number. Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to be happy with that either way. But, I mean, like, to Devin's point, if we shot another 6-man, I wouldn't be, like, extremely surprised. But if we shot less than 20, I'm not going to be extremely surprised either. So,
Yep. Yeah, I have. It's amazing having limited in a spot today, 6-man limit. I have no expectations for tomorrow.
See, Tim said he thought it would be better. He said, I think that.
Second day's usually better than the first.
He said, I think we'll do better tomorrow than we did today. I'm like, how can you do better than a 6-man limit?
Yeah.
Well, so
Quicker,
what he
closer
said,
shots.
what he said at lunch was, like normally he doesn't make the move. So like I'm guessing if we wouldn't have been there to kind of like talk with him about moving a little bit, like they probably would have sat there and finished the day out and then just hunted over there the next day. I think that's why they do so good the second day versus where we made the move in the middle of the hunt and then
Yeah. He also said he doesn't do the move because his buddies don't wear waders, so he's like, I don't want to pick all this up by myself.
I ain't wearing waders tomorrow.
Yeah, you have
Too
to wear
hot
waders.
for that.
Oh,
No,
man.
you don't wear waders for
I'll
you.
just-
You wear waders for your buddies.
I'll just get down in my
miserable.
skivvies.
There is a lot of total wader work to do, and if you make us split it in 2 ways instead of 3 ways, I'm going to be pissed. There are so many birds to get.
That's
many times you had to get out
they're
and
bringing
push the
2 more
boat and
dogs,
stuff.
so I should be able to
2 more dogs?
Oh no, he
Just
said
one more?
He
Two-
said Ellie
2 to the
was
dove
too
hunt,
young.
one tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think there's going to be 3 dogs tomorrow, which honestly wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, we definitely could have used it for
Yeah.
sure.
And they're obviously with the cover, they're not sticking out or flaring birds or anything, so they can spend the whole hunt looking for birds and they won't flare anything.
We could have used it today. It'll depend on the number of birds we shoot tomorrow.
Yep.
So
26.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know.
I will be
the guy
happy.
that hunts here all the time estimated 16, and we more than doubled that. So
Yeah.
I just feel like we need to make the stakes like higher here. Like I feel like we need to put something on the line.
Like
I don't know what to put on the line, though.
grand? Wait,
Huh?
what? Oh.
Well, let's be realistic. Some of us aren't trust fund kids over here. So.
Oh my gosh. Some of us are jealous that some of us went to college and got a good job.
I am jealous. You do have a hot mom, though. Like,
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Jordan, what's the
I
next
need
topic?
to. Yeah, I need to get. Let's move on to the next thing. So, all right. So dove hunting. So we're dove hunting tonight. Devin's a little mad. He's a little cranky because I'm. I had us do the podcast instead of his nap time.
yeah, it's my nap time.
So we're gonna take a nap here for a little bit. Like I said, we didn't get much sleep last
There's
night.
no point at this. Like, we gotta just power through.
What time is it?
Go get.
Is it 2:43?
Yeah, we gotta be there by 4:30.
248.
Yeah, so we still got time, but we're dove hunting tonight. It should be a fun time, but yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in for the podcast. I'd love to hear feedback from you. We did these podcasts from the road last year on the Chasing the Opener series, and now we're doing them again this year on the Iowa Teal Trip. I don't know if I probably need to come up with a more exciting name than that, but it's yeah, we're excited for it, and I know last time you guys loved hearing the update podcast through all the hunts, and like I said, everything on this is going to be filmed. We got the hunts filmed. I got tons of footage that I need to go through and edit, and I think it's gonna be an awesome video. So, alrighty, guys, I'm Jordan from Duck Gun Chronicles, Devin and John, and we'll see you guys on the next one.